So you have decided that you deserve to live a soft life. You've decided that you are no longer the strong Black woman. You are no longer the mule of the world. What are 4 things that you need to avoid as you make this transition to a softer life? Hi, my name is Javonna MaeRhys. I'm a work-life balance coach, and I help women in their 40s to recalibrate work and home so that they can live their best life, so that they can stop stressing out, they can stop feeling like they're failing everyone around them, including themselves. So let's talk about that soft life. So the first thing that we need to avoid when we are transitioning into living a soft life is copying others. Our journey into accepting that we don't have to perform to have value, that we have value simply by way of being. Our journey sometimes leads us to look at others and try to copy exactly what they're doing, right? And we all need mentors, we all need guides, but especially in this place, in this space of deciding what a soft life looks for us, because it's different for everyone. In deciding that, it's important not to lose your uniqueness, to not lose your way of being. So I'll give you a perfect example. One of my ways of living a soft life is, of course, it's rest, but it's also play. And play is going to look different for everyone. Maybe you like to paint. Maybe you like to participate in a sport. For me, I like playing video games. And so playing for me is making time to play video games. Play for me and rest for me also is making time to, catch up on some shows that I like. I love watching horror movies. And so I make time to watch the newest stuff that's out there. Nobody is out there talking about that. Maybe there is somebody, but I haven't seen them. But it's unique to me regardless. I am not trying to take picnics in the grass, number 1, because I'm allergic to everything. And then number 2, because it's not me. And so don't try to copy other people as you are creating this phase of your life that is softer, that allows you to be open and to truly live. The second thing that you need to avoid as you're transitioning into living a softer life is overspending. Because especially living in a capitalistic society, we're always taught that all of our problems can be fixed by buying something, right? If you are not happy with your weight, you need to buy a membership here, buy this supplement, buy this, buy that. If you don't like the fact that you're starting to get a few gray hairs, you can buy some color or pay someone to cover it. Not to say that there's anything wrong with either one of those, but when you're in the process of making a change, it's very easy to start spending a bunch of money towards that change, right? And so you need to evaluate whether the money that you're spending is something that you're going to get a good return on, or if it's something that you actually really, really need. I know, overspending and talking about whether you really need something or not sounds strange coming from a coach. You would think that I would be telling you, yes, you need to buy all the things to make you feel better, to make you, reach your goals, and I can do. No, I'm not going to say that. I will say that I have spent money on a coach, and so I know how transformative having someone who's not in the thick of it, but who has been in the thick of it and can relate to what you're going through, having that person to bounce ideas off of, having that person who knows strategies, who has a framework to help you get to where you want to be, it's very helpful. But that's something that you're going to have to decide for yourself. The same way that you're going to have to decide that if you want to lose weight, is it worth it to you to hire a trainer? Is it worth it to you to buy these things? Are you going to use them? Are you going to implement them? And And so that's something that you have to think about as you're transitioning into the soft life, is spending money on things that are going to give you a good return on investment and things that you're actually going to use. And so the third thing that you want to avoid as you're transitioning into this new era of living a soft life is rushing the process, right? I recently did a video where I was talking about how I used to, and still find myself sometimes, I have to remind myself, I find myself rushing and walking everywhere and trying to get through things as quickly as possible. And that's one of the things that I did with all of the mini certifications that I have, is I was always trying to get that piece of paper. I was always trying to rush through the process and move on to the next thing. And when you live your life like that, you end up feeling a disconnect. I know that I did. I often say that I felt like I was haunting my own life like a ghost because I was never present. I was always in the past or in the future, floating around, rushing around, trying to get things done. And so if that's you and that resonates with you, I want you to think about soft life and slow being very connected and very close to each other. Because when you are slowing down, you are able to be softer in so many areas. And so if you've been living your life for a number of years, trying to be a strong Black woman, trying to do all the things, that's not going to change overnight. And so you need to figure out, either on your own or with a coach, what strategies, what frameworks do you need to put into place to make sure that the habits that you're building now, this new soft life, that it's sustainable. That this is not something that you just do for the next month and then life comes back at you and you're back to living the way that you were living before. So avoid rushing the process. And then the last thing is, don't neglect your core values. Okay, so one of the things I work with my clients is figuring out what are your core values, what are your priorities, what are the things that are important to you, because understanding those things, that's the basis for all of the other work that you do. Whether it is learning how to set boundaries, whether it is implementing stress management techniques, whether it is living a soft life. You have to know what your values are, because if you are living outside of your values as you're building up this era of your life, you're not going to be doing it authentically. You know, you need to authentically be you. And so whatever your values are, you need to make sure that as you are shedding, the stereotypes, as you are learning to be softer, do less, and live more, that you're also keeping those values front and center. So let me know in the comments, what are some things that resonated with you in terms of what do you need to avoid? Or have you been in the situation before where you have decided you're making a life change and then you spend a bunch of money and then you don't implement any of it? Because I know I've been there before. And so let me know in the comments. And then also definitely, if this is helpful for you, make sure that you are liking the video, subscribe, share it with someone who you think would be helped by it. I really appreciate it, and it helps my channel. And then if you're looking for someone who can assist you in figuring out any of these things, schedule a free clarity conversation with me so that we can talk about some first steps to make some changes to keep you from feeling overwhelmed and get you back to feeling some semblance of balance. And so in the next video, we'll continue talking about soft life and what it really means and how you can get it if you are working a 9-to-5 job, because it might feel a little bit out of reach if you are working 40 plus hours a week, but I promise you that it's doable, and we'll talk about it next time. I'll see you then.